We've got to watch out for this 59-16. So I take a shot at him and I start to pull back. I shoot at him on the move in third person, going back into sniper mode when I know that I got a chance to make a clean shot. 4 hits into him and he rams himself to death on me. Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby bringing you another quick tank review, this time of the Tier 6 American light tank, the T21. Now this is a very interesting tank. Quite a few of you have been requesting that I do a review on it because it is a Tier 6 light tank and it is the last tank in the tree that does not have an autoloader. Many people consider this to be a weak link and lots of people want to just rush their way to getting the T21 where they can start to enjoy an autoloader on the American tanks. As you can see here, maybe I'm getting lucky. I've managed to pick up 80% wins in this tank with 929 average experience. So as always, what's really important on a light tank is how maneuverable it is, and this tank is very maneuverable. Its traverse speed is 60 degrees a second. Its top speed is an alright 56. That's not amazing for a light tank. But its 560 engine power combined with the weight fully loaded of 23.5 tons mean that it's able to accelerate fairly quickly. I like to use fuel on this tank. That may be new for you. This provides a 5% increased engine power and turret traverse speed for the rest of the battle, which can provide you with that little bit of extra oomph to get up slopes and to outmaneuver tanks, which I fully recommend that you do in this tank, because if you don't, your 590 hit points and absolutely nothing armor is not going to keep you alive for very long. Now this tank packs quite a little stinger. It's got a 76mm that fires over 18 rounds a minute with 115 alpha damage. So that means that you're going to have to be putting out consistent shots on the target if you want to take them down. It's not like the VK2801, for example, that can load 105mm and derp its way through the armor of its enemy tanks. This tank has got 128mm of penetration, which is more than capable of penetrating the sides and the rear of most tanks in the game. And if you load the premium rounds of 177mm penetration, that can go through most tanks frontally, apart from Tier 9 and 10 tank. Now the accuracy of this gun is very weak, 0.4, and its aim time is an alright 2.3. That means that trying to snipe in this tank is quite tricky, and you want to have medium to short range engagements. Lots of people like to play this tank with optics, but I personally like to play all my tanks with binoculars to give me that little bit of extra flexibility, enhancing the 390 meter view range of this tank, which makes it quite a little scout. So let's take a look at some gameplay so we can see this Tier 6 American scout tank in action. So here we go, let's check out the T21 gameplay. We can see that we're playing on Runeberg, and we don't have that many good players on our team, nor on the enemy team. And this is a fairly nice matchup for this tank, where there aren't that many Tier 8s against us, only one Tier 8 and a bunch of Tier 7s. So I feel like the rate of fire and the gun on this tank, I can do a bit more damage, as hopefully I'm going to show you. So what I recommend for bush locations at the start of the game is here. You can see we spot 1, we spot 2, 3, 4. We've got to watch out for this 59-16. So I take a shot at him and I start to pull back. I shoot at him on the move in third person, going back into sniper mode when I know that I got a chance to make a clean shot. 4 hits into him and he rams himself to death on me. That's a good start. That's basically my opposite number out the game. Their Tier 6 scout tank did not make the most of this game. And we put our gunner back in and start to unload on that KB1S. I pull back to get shots on this 12T. Here we can see the rapid rate of fire of this gun. That 12T didn't want to pay any more attention to us. I spot that this KB1S is going to be an open shot. And wow, nice, nice, nice. Burn. That guy obviously was using speed governors, or he just found his fire extinguisher, I think. Poor gentleman. Let's continue our onslaught on him, especially if we catch track shots like that. Completely taking him out the game. So, we're up to over 1,500 damage already in our Tier 6 light tank. We can see that our team has got a fairly even spread of tanks, considering that the enemy have already lost 5 tanks. We outnumber them greatly now. I'm thinking about where my next opportunity to spot, where my next opportunity is to do damage. Let's get it. I was hoping I might have had a ram kill there on the 12T, but it wasn't to be. I see there's an SG-100 in the distance. I take out this building to get some shots. I think he's in this bush, so I fire a few shots. I can see it splash on the building though, and that obviously means that he wasn't there. We've got to be careful. This ARL can do a hell of a lot of damage to us. But I feel like I have the opportunity to get the kill. And we can see how amazing this thing is. On the move. It's very mobile. Quick to pick up speed. And look at the traverse. Look at the traverse. It can hard turn. So here we can see one of the new German light tanks. The Alpha Panther. And we can see it is a very large target with a ridiculous turret on. Which is a lovely opportunity for me to pick up a cheeky bit of damage. Here we can see me take out the SG-100. I thought for a second there, watching the replay back, that I would have loaded a premium shell to take out that guy at range. Because let's be honest, he's got basically a 50-50 chance of taking me out in one shot if he was using the 122. That's something that you don't want to mess around with. So I'm using the enhanced zoom of Zoom Mod here to see which way the T22 is facing. And then it's time to party. Fortunately our first shot bounces. Our second shot does no damage. And we scoot as quickly as we can, tracking him on the approach to get the shot off. Here I wanted to zoom out, as you could see, to see if he was going to be able to get me. And then now it's time to put a bit more damage into him. So, without premium ammunition, we don't really have the penetration to really go through that T-32 side and tracks consistently. Just firing this regular ammo, which I have been all game, yet to fire a premium shell. But if we can get his side and his rear and we can aim our shots, we can really unload on high tier tanks and give them a serious amount of punishing. So you can see me load my first premium shell of the game, ready to take out this Black Prince. I know I'll one-hit him. I could have had his frontal armor facing me, and that's why I had them loaded. Putting some casual shots in on the Tiger, and now onto the Panther. You can see the excellent rate of fire of this gun, enabling us to take out the Panther with ease at range. So that really shows you the maneuverability and the flexibility of the T21. I kind of like this tank. I'm having a good time with it. I've been getting alright results. And let's take a look at the post-game stats. So here we can see the post-game stats. One of the key reasons I uploaded this replay is to show the potential of the T21 as a damage dealer and not just as a scout, a pure scout. As we can see, we only did 68 damage upon detecting with a lack of artillery and the lack of an open map there. We could not make use of our binoculars and our excellent view range to be spotting. So instead we decided to do the most damage in the team in this tier 8-7 matchup with basically opportunistic play, using the tank to flank, to engage targets that are already engaged by other targets. It's a support light, in my opinion. When you can't use it as a scout, you should play your lights and mediums as support tanks. We were able to do 2,800 damage there. We hit 27 out of our 30 shots, and 24 of those went in. And it wasn't until the end that we started to unload a few of the premium rounds, so it shows you this tank is fully capable of engaging tier 6, 7 and 8 targets with regular ammo. What do I think of the T21 as a whole? Obviously it's a bit funny because the Chaffee is tier 5 and the Chaffee is probably the same, if not better, than the T21. But you've got to consider the Chaffee as an end of tree tank, whereas this is a tank which is getting onto the T71. I think a lot of people dislike this tank because they're really in a hurry to get the T71 and they don't want to look at this tank as quite a good tank within its own right. It's very, 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 very maneuverable. 60 degrees a second on the traverse. I really recommend maximizing your engine power in this with fuel, for credits of course. so that you can enjoy the 56 km/h top speed limit even while you're turning, even while you're going up light slopes. Really overpower your enemy with light tank play. Track them, get round them, avoid them, outplay their slow turret traverse on the larger tanks. Pop out, take 2 shots, pull back before he can turn 90 degrees to face his turret to you. You've got to really play opportunistically in this tank. And if all else fails, use your binoculars, get in a bush and do some spotting until the last possible second where you've got to fall back. That's all you can do, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this replay. If you have, think about rating it at the bottom below. I'd really appreciate it. And tell me what you think about the T21. Do you guys hate it? Do you guys like it? Do you think it's just something that you have to do to get your T71? You be the judge. You tell me what you think. If you want to watch me play live, I live stream on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays at 1800 Central European Summertime. As always, guys, you've been epic. Thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon.